Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Agatha All Along, Episode 6. But before we get into that, let's get the housekeeping out of the way, shall we? I'm going to leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Agatha All Along, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, if you've been following me along for this ride, you know I have really enjoyed the show. I think it's just been a lot of fun, and that's all I really want from this. And last week, to me, was the best episode overall. Got a big reveal that Teen was really Billy Maximoff this whole time, or Wiccan, and now this was truly his episode. Now, before we get fully into the review, I just want to say it was very ironic that within the same exact week that both comic book shows that are out right now, which are both doing very well, that they took this week to be the episode where they go from a completely different point of view of the main side character, and it's just their bottle episode, because that's really how this episode felt. And I like this episode quite a bit. I would not say it's my favorite, or hell, it's probably not even my second favorite, but I did enjoy this episode. I really like getting to know Billy quite a bit, and also William in the beginning. I will say, however, some of the structure within this episode, and also just some of the choices that are made, not just from this episode, but with how the rest of the season is going. Like the whole finale bit where Agatha and Billy are talking, and she's like, okay, well, that's one way to make an entrance on it, and that the spell's not broken. He can now say Billy. He can now say William, all these different things, and, you know, they're having a full-on conversation. And I really hope they're not dead, the other two witches that were with them. And, you know, we got to see every witch in this episode as well. They were all doing different jobs. And if they're dead, that makes no sense. Because how did Agatha survive, but they didn't? So I really hope they're still alive. You know, it's just a red herring, and maybe we get a trial with just those two. And next week's trial is actually facing Wanda's son. For the most part, maybe he's the real big bad. And also, what the hell is Rio? Where is Aubrey Plaza in this whole show? Not just because I want to see Aubrey Plaza, which of course I always want to see Aubrey Plaza, but it's just like she disappeared. She disappeared towards the end of last week's episode, and she wasn't in this episode at all. How is she not there whatsoever? Now, again, anything can be really like redacted into actually enjoying it if they do explain where Rio has been this whole entire time. But it's just really jarring to me. And I also really don't get how Agatha has just completely hammed it up. Now, I don't know if it's just because, okay, she's been caught. She has some power now. She feels much stronger. So therefore, she has gone full evil again. And, you know, she's just going to lean into that. But it just seems much more hammed up than usual. But besides that, those bits. And also, I don't really get why we did the whole William thing. Because if they just did the spell and, you know, they were blocking off what his name was, if they would have just gone with, hey, my name is William, and we all would have been like, okay, well, I guess he's not Billy. Whoever this William guy is, maybe William is really her son, and he, like, changed his name or something, or, you know, the foster family that took him in, or Mephisto changed his name or whatever, or he would have gone a million different routes, but it's just that you put the spell that we cannot hear his name. It just really seemed very convoluted to just go, okay, so he's originally William, but William's going to die, and then Billy's soul is going to go into his, and now how he's going to find this vessel, and then we go off to the races, which is fine. You could totally do that. You can absolutely totally do that, and you just don't need to do the spell. He can just go, hey, my name's William, because, you know, he's been going by that for 3 whole years, and then later on be like, okay, I'm really Billy this whole entire time, and then we get this episode. So it's just with some of those structures, not just within this episode, but some choices they made in past episodes, and some things that just have been dropped completely that really irritate me a little bit when it came to this episode. But besides that, if I take the episode as a whole, especially within the beginning half, where this is kind of played like another mystery for a good bit, with Billy trying to figure out where he is coming from, who he is, and how he has all these powers and all that jazz, and like trying just to remember, who the hell am I? I had a great time with it. I loved getting to know his parents quite a bit. I also liked the relationship that was being built with his boyfriend. I thought they had great chemistry. I really liked the line when, he comes clean about him and the boyfriend's just going along for it. Really thought we were going to go a route of, oh no, he's like, oh, I don't know what I got myself into, and he's going to go away. But no, he was just supportive. Even when they met Boner in the garage. And another thing that I liked about this episode as well, it's a good callback to episode 1 too, is that if you were a fan of WandaVision, there were some really good callbacks to this where, it just really felt rewarding to watch that show. And just like, oh man, WandaVision. And it just gives you some good, memories from that show. And I was a huge fan of WandaVision. I'm one of the few that actually thinks they stuck the landing for the most part and didn't hate the Boner reveal. That when I saw him, I was like, hell yeah, man. This was great. And it was a really funny scene. And Evan Peters was really game for it. So yeah, it's just one of those tales, and I liked the conversation that we had at the end with Agatha, because that was the only thing that kind of moved forward for the most part. In a lot of ways, I can see the argument as to, hey, this was just a filler episode. I personally don't see it that way, because now, okay, I understand where Billy's coming from. I understand his motives. I understand he wants to see Tommy and why he gets pushed to this edge. I also would have really liked to see Billy practicing the magic. Now, we can bring 2 and 2 together that, hey, for these 3 years, as he's been searching up the witches, that he has been studying spells. I would just like to see some of that practice too, because he is already kind of powerful. And also to be able to break your own mother's spell, who is one of the most powerful witches ever, that's spelled out within the WandaVision show. That look, she is a Nexus being. She is super, super strong. And he's just able to, on the first try, to break the spell. And that was also really funny to see, from the other side of you, where you're not in the show with Agatha and you're just seeing her go off, and he's just like, oh, okay, I feel like he typecast me as the mouthy teen, but I really think I could be something else. And she's just going like, hey, this is the lines that we're doing. So that was also really funny too. Again, I just would like to see him practice some spells too. I would like a little bit more research when it came to the Agatha stuff. And again, once we got to where we are at in live time, it just felt like the moment was there, but it was just missed by a little bit. So overall, again, I really did enjoy the episode. I had fun with it. It just wasn't my favorite, and I am ready to get back to, hey, let's do another trial. Let's see where we're going from here. And I guess next week is the penultimate, because after next week, the week after that, we get the final 2 episodes within the same exact week. And so I just kind of assume those as one episode. But yeah, overall, I really did like this. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought of it. If you made it this far within the review, please leave a like. I do appreciate it. And of course, hit that subscribe button, as we have a ton more content heading your way very soon. Got the Smile 2 review heading your way Saturday. We also got SmackDown and wrestling reviews as well. So hit that subscribe button for more on the ride. And of course, the Penguin on Mondays. So until next time, I'll see you here at Limit Studios.